Hey everyone! We finished our last HISHE of 2016, and I've now seen Rogue One twice, so I thought it's another good time to do a HISHE review. So what do you say? You want to talk some Rogue One? Let's get to it.
Rogue One, they're building the Death Star, but then comes Jen Erso to snatch up them plans.
Alright. Rogue One, a Star Wars story, or to everyone else, Star Wars Episode 3.9, is an epic adventure about a diverse team of rebel types from all over the galaxy who volunteer to go on a crazy mission to steal the plans of the Death Star. Which you probably already knew because we've all been talking about this for a long time. It's also a story that most people probably could guess how it ends, having Episode 4 a part of our lives, but I think it's still totally worth watching just the same. It's an awesome Star Wars film. It's full of nostalgic callbacks to the original trilogy as well as nods to the prequels, and it has some of the coolest fight sequences we've ever had in a Star Wars movie. The movie does have a slow burn. I think that's credit to Gareth Edwards directing this film, which is fine with me. It moves kind of slow at the beginning, but it builds to an incredible finale, so to me, the movie was fantastic. The tone is a little darker, sorry younglings, but I think that's important for this story. This movie is after Revenge of the Sith and before A New Hope after all, so I thought the tone was very appropriate. I really enjoyed the movie, so I would say go check it out if you haven't yet. So now that I've kissed this movie's butt a whole bunch, let's talk spoilers. Spoiler warning! Big spoilers, yes! I can't believe Galen Erso turned out to be Luke Skywalker's real dad. I'm kidding. That's at least I'm pretty sure that's not true. We don't know. But still, spoilers ahead, people. What did you think about the cast? I liked them. Next question. Oh, you want details. Okay. I thought the cast was cool. I liked that it's like, they're not Jedi, they're just like you and me. I really like Jen Erso's character. I like the story about her father. She's living her life thinking her father joined the Empire willingly, so she's got a seriously troubled past. I thought Krennic was an excellent villain. He's like everything you want from the Empire. I loved K2SO as the sarcastic droid. He has so many great lines. He's like C-3PO's snarky brother that can actually fight. He's great. I didn't like Cassian so much the first time through. But after my second viewing, I was like, dude, Cassian's kind of dope. Him and Jin need to hook up already. Seriously, there's not much time. They need to hurry up. Another character that didn't work for me the first time was the pilot Bodhi. But again, after the second viewing, I was like, Bodhi, you're alright, man. You left the Empire. You defected. You got the nuts. You just had to put up with Forrest Whitaker's weird truth Jabba the Hutt creature.
Who was your favorite?
My favorite character is hands down Chirrut, for obvious reasons. Everything he does is awesome, and I totally think we need a mini-series of him and Baze walking around Jeddah having adventures in Kung Fu. I thought everyone felt like they fit into this universe very well. I would have liked to have gotten to know all of them a little more, but I don't think that was ever the purpose of this movie, which I'll go into more later.
What did you think about CG Tarkin?
I'm seeing a lot of hate on the CG Tarkin. I don't really understand. I thought CG Tarkin was really cool. I'm actually all for this. So much so that I think we should be making a CG Han Solo for this younger Han Solo movie that's coming down the line. But nobody else here agrees with me, so I'm on my own with that one. But whatever. Enjoy your guy pretending to be Harrison Ford movie. Anyway, although there's still something kind of robotic about him, I just love how far digital effects have come, and that really excites me. Tarkin's not perfect. He still feels a little robotic. You can really tell it with the digital Leia later in the movie, but I still love that they are trying to keep the characters true to the timeline instead of replacing them with some lookalikes.
What about that Darth Vader scene, though?
I'm going to say something that I think nobody will agree with, and that is, I actually feel like Darth Vader wasn't needed in this movie. What? Darth Vader had the best scene in the whole show. You dumb. Stop being dumb. I didn't say his scene wasn't awesome. It was totally awesome. The second scene is incredible. The first scene I thought was kind of weird and very out of place. He's just hanging out on Mustafar for some reason, because that's important. But he's not in the rest of the story. But then he comes out at the very end like,
I believe this saga is supposed to be about me?
And then he just whoops everyone's butt, and it's incredible, and everybody's like, yeah! It was so awesome, and probably most people's favorite part of the movie. I just wish his presence was more crucial to the Empire's story of Rogue One, as the trailers led me to believe might happen, which is my other beef with this movie.
What's the deal, trailers?
There are a lot of shots in the trailers, or in the web featurettes that they released, that did not happen in the final movie, which means they changed a lot of stuff, or they faked some of these trailer shots. Like, what was that whole,
What will you become?
why did that even matter? I thought this film was going to go in a complete different direction just from that soundbite alone. I thought the rebels were going to have to sneak onto the actual Death Star and somehow get the plans out of there without being captured, except that they are captured, from like Darth Vader, and then maybe he like brainwashes them or turns them into like Winter Soldiers that turn into something later down the line, like, I don't know, the Knights of Ren. We kind of went off the rails on the predictions with this one, I think.
Jyn Erso's gonna be Rey's mom, I know it.
Meanwhile, Rogue One's just like, nope, we're changing all that. Jyn walking through the TIE Fighter on the catwalk, didn't happen. Krennic talking to Vader on the Death Star, didn't happen. Jyn running on the beach with the Death Star plans, didn't happen. Jyn's epic turn to the camera in the Stormtrooper suit, didn't happen.
I rebel.
Didn't happen. Krennic walking in the burning beach, didn't happen. The Darth Vader reflection on the Death Star, didn't happen. What was the original cut of this movie? Something led to the beach, because Jyn and Cassian somehow make their way down there at the end. So there's some pieces missing here. Either way, thanks a lot, trailers.
But did you think it was the best Star Wars ever?
I've been thinking really hard about what is it that I appreciated most about Rogue One. And I believe it's this. When I watched the film the first time, I thought this movie was just really slow with an awesome, great, giant Star Wars nostalgia-packed mega battle at the end, which I was okay with. But I didn't like that I couldn't see the subtext right away. When I watched the film a second time, I think I saw what that subtext is. Trust. And also maybe sacrifice, but more trust, I think. Most of the characters in this movie have an issue with trust or have serious doubts about the other. Jyn feels abandoned. Cassian doesn't believe Jyn's father can be trusted. He's even told to assassinate Galen. K2SO is constantly thinking they're all gonna die and giving the odds of how this is never gonna work. Forrest Whitaker thinks the pilot is lying with Galen Erso's message. The Rebel Alliance can't seem to agree about anything. Even Krennic can't trust his own empire. Everyone is on their own, in a sense, in a galaxy that is going to hell, and nobody is willing to take that leap of faith. But two things stood out to me about Jyn's story in regards to what was the point. At the beginning, when Jyn is a child, her mother gives her the crystal and says, "Trust the Force." And later, in an unrelated scene, Cassian is upset with Jyn when he finds out that she has a weapon. He's saying, "Give it here," because he doesn't trust her, and she says,
Trust goes both ways.
I feel like this is the center of the entire story, because the one character that echoes these two ideas is Chirrut. I am one with the Force, and the Force is with me. I am one with the Force, and the Force is with me. I am one with the Force, and the Force is with me. Trust goes both ways. Chirrut completely trusts in the Force as well as his friend Baze. He even says, "I fear nothing, for all is as the Force wills it." When these two ideas are finally applied to the rest of the cast in the movie, the mission finally begins to succeed and the rebellion solidifies. When Jyn says,
May the Force be with us.
that's when it all clicks, which creates the new hope they all need to carry on. In the end, the mission cost them their lives, but the cause they're dying for was much greater. I think that is really cool and very universal. You could bicker and argue or live in fear, or you can just give up and not care about anything, quote, never look up, as Jyn says, or you can come together, trust one another, and be a part of something that has meaning. That's really awesome, and something I never really expected this movie to pull out of that tiny little space between episode 3 and 4. That final battle is incredible, and we get to have all these awesome memories of all the old pilots, and we get to see how Red 5 dies. But without that story about trust, you don't get to see where A New Hope actually begins. And that's what I appreciate most about Rogue One. Okay, those are my thoughts on Rogue One. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you also enjoyed Rogue One. Please let me know what you thought of the movie in the comments below, and how much that you totally want a CG Han Solo movie. No, just me? Okay, fine. I know we will get working on a Rogue One hizzy pretty soon, but we've got some other titles that we're going to focus on first, so just add that to the list of episodes to look forward to. Okay, That's all for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram and stuff. And we'll see you next time. Bye!